Oh, well, look what we have here. That's right, it's your big, bold, bad boy Jules here with another WTF film moment. Huzzah! Let the herald sign of my magnificent arrival. Now, as per usual, I've sought out King Ross and he's given me the usual approval to use the term WTF moments.
F*** off, Jules!
So here I am once again to drag a film through the dirt and point out all of its flaws. Right, so what's on this week's agenda? Batman vs Superman? Oh, well, sign me up for a funeral march as I'm about to get obliterated by DC fans. It, what have I got going for me anyway? Bring it on! With this in mind, I'm Jules from Whatculture.com and this is every WTF moment in Batman vs Superman. Oh goody, another origin story, but this time it looks like Bruce flies out on a cloud of bats. Did he fly? Is this a dream or a memory? Dumb. If you're out to steal pearls and you end up destroying them, then you, sir, are a pathetic thief. We get that it's a symbolic shot, but still, priorities, man. It makes no sense to use a regular helicopter over one of your bat-themed vehicles. It's not like it would have taken much longer seeing as Metropolis is like 2 miles away in this film, so why not travel there in a much more capable form of transport, you tit? You have to hand it to the Wayne Corp employees, even when the city is being torn down around them, they dutifully do their jobs until their boss personally calls them to tell them to evacuate. Would they have just sat there in the rubble typing if he hadn't called? Nah, you, Snyder. Killing Jimmy Olsen like that was a real middle finger to the fans. Does anyone want to inform the world that Superman doesn't use guns because all the terrorists here have been shot in the head and you're blaming him for this? I mean, he sure could do that, but why would he want to? There is literally no reason for this bath sequence to exist apart from the teenage titillation factor of almost seeing Lois Lane's boobs just under the water. I hate myself for saying this, by the way, but that is massively dumb. This is the weirdest Superman statue ever. I don't get why he's flexing like this. It's not even a heroic pose, it's like a GQ spread. Over the top, hyperactive, skittish, and filled with more tics than Adam Blompier has teeth, this is not Lex Luthor. This is the Riddler pretending to be Lex Luthor, and it's not great. None of Lex's crimes compare slightly with the monstrous act of booping this guy's mouth. I don't care who you are, you don't do that in real life, and if you do try, you're gonna get socked right in the puss. Hey man, don't hate on my granny's peach tea, okay? Seriously, that's such a weird line. This nightmare of Bruce by his bleeding parents' grave just makes us wish for a Batman horror movie, just because that was clearly Man-Bat, and this is clearly a much better villain than what we're gonna get in here. This isn't a bad WTF moment at all, but the inclusion of Junkie XL's sonic oddness is certifiably weird enough to take up a spot. Carrying on this weirdness, it's so weird to see Alfred as a bitchy, sarcastic dude who just wants to see Bruce get laid. It is a far cry from the wet-eyed letter burner from the last Bat trilogy, let me tell you. That's not a bad thing, it's just odd. Why, oh why, couldn't we just have a Death in the Family and the Red Hood movie trilogy? Instead, we get those storylines boiled down to an Easter egg. Boo. So despite Lex having lots of reasons to need tight security, Bruce Wayne just walks freely into his house to the shrugs of a couple of security guards, then Mercy Graves shows up, is easily duped by Wayne, and then just leaves him in the super secret computer room she found him in. They all need to be fired. Oh snap, there's a flash flood! Quick, kids, grab the paint and brushes so that we can make a Superman logo on the roof. Dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Why is Perry White such an asshole? As if you'd fire Kent for just not writing about football. Superman cooking soldiers with his laser eyes is satisfying, but totally wrong. And you know what, I wish they hadn't spoiled this scene so much with all the lead-up marketing showing clips of it. While this nightmare scene is pretty great, it does show a lot of Superman soldiers fighting nothing or wasting very large windows of opportunity to kill Batman, so fire them too. Okay, so despite how great it is to see the Flash time warp, everyone in the seeds needs to put a little more, basic fucking human emotion into their delivery. The Flash yells in monotone and Bruce looks like he doesn't give a single shit. How the hell did Lex Luthor know about the Genesis chamber on the Kryptonian scout ship? How did he even know that he had to use Zod's body and his own blood to create Doomsday? And come to think of it, if Krypton's High Council's outlawed crossbreeding, why the hell did they fit every scout ship they sent out with the technology that allowed this exact thing to happen? This is not Michael Shannon. This is Michael Shannon's rubber sex doll that they're putting underwater. Yours for only $699. Pointless subplot about retiring for all of 13 seconds meets a pointless Kevin Costner cameo. Pointless. Bat CrossFit. Who knew Bruce loved his fad exercise routines? I mean, there's a whole scene about Luthor's piss in order to reference the peach tea line. I don't even know whether to be mad about this or not. Wheelchair bomb. That was actually, I didn't see that coming. Surprised that Superman wasn't blamed for it. Those things, they pin every other thing on him? Why is he setting up Home Alone-style booby traps? They don't work, and Batman should know this. Two problems with this anti-soups gas. One, it wears off after like 2 minutes, and two, Batman is still able to fight Superman as if he's weakened afterwards. Dumb. Martha. Are we really to believe that Batman's entire argument with Superman's very existence was forgotten because their mums were called the same thing? What if Lex Luthor's mum was called Martha too? Would he have been forgiven? What if the Joker was actually secretly called Martha? It's just so silly! How did Lois Lane work out that Superman needed the kryptonite spear when she had no knowledge of Doomsday? And how exactly did she manage to run from the roof of a building to its basement in a matter of seconds? And how does she avoid dying in the hail of rubble underwater? In Metropolis, apparently, planes show live news on TV before they've even taken off. Wow, that sure is handy for Wonder Woman, but it kind of messes with simple reality for the sake of convenience, and we should not stand for it. So the news report that Diana sees on the plane says that there's a fight between Doomsday and the army on Strikers Island just off Metropolis, and yet somehow she manages to arrive in Gotham at precisely the right moment to save Batman from Doomsday's optic blast. She should have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. I thought she was with you, except no, you didn't, Bruce. You literally interacted with Diana a couple of times, and at no point did it appear at all that you thought that she was a known associate of Superman. You liar! As soon as Wonder Woman appears in the final battle with Doomsday, Batman is pretty much rendered entirely pointless as anything other than a target. They could have incapacitated him to get around this, but no, they can't have the Bat looking weak, so he just had to dodge and dive, making him look weak. Good job. When Superman initially encounters kryptonite in his fight with Batman, the mineral does exactly what it's supposed to do, robbing him of his powers and turning him into a man. But then when the spear was retrieved and Supes knew how to take down Doomsday, he was somehow able to resist the effects of his one weakness and still fly. Good. Great. No, that makes perfect sense. They literally killed Superman twice. Why try this fake out with us when we know that Doomsday will be the one putting him on ice? It just seems to drag out the film unnecessarily. How does Lex know anything about Darkseid? In this non-extended cut, he just drops this info in prison. It makes no goddamn sense. If you're trying to convince the audience that Superman is going to stay dead for at least one film until his inevitable return in the Justice League, leave the coffin alone. But no, Snyder couldn't wait to spurt his load all over this and had to have it rumble, instantly killing the payoff of this scene. I mean, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, what with the overload of post-credit sequences, but there are none to be found here. You would have thought that with a new universe to promote, it would have made sense to put at least something there. Oh well, at least we'll always have Martha. Whew, and there we have it, all of the WTF moments in Batman vs Superman. If you made it this far and want to crucify me in the comments below, then please feel free to do so, but I am the true Man of Steel, and your barbs will not hurt me. Excuse me. Then swing by Whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, aka Retro J, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.